The night was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the distant hum of machinery within the sprawling confines of the secret government facility. As a security guard, I had grown accustomed to the eerie atmosphere, but tonight felt different. The air was charged with a palpable tension, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. I had been stationed at the facility for over a year, tasked with overseeing the containment of creatures that defied the very laws of nature. Monsters, they called them, beings that had once roamed the earth, now captured and imprisoned for the safety of humanity. But tonight, one of them had escaped. The alarm had blared through the corridors, a shrill warning that sent adrenaline coursing through my veins. I grabbed my flashlight and made my way down the dimly lit hallways, the flickering lights casting long, distorted shadows that danced along the walls. My heart raced as I recalled the stories whispered among the guards, tales of the horrors that lurked within these walls. As I approached the containment area, I noticed the heavy steel door ajar, swinging slightly as if inviting me in. A chill ran down my spine. I stepped cautiously inside, the beam of my flashlight cutting through the darkness. The cell was empty, the restraints torn apart as if a great force had been unleashed. Panic surged within me. I was not alone. Suddenly, a low growl echoed from the shadows, sending a jolt of fear through my body. I turned, shining my light into the corners of the room, but all I could see were the remnants of what had once been a formidable creature. The stories had not prepared me for this moment, the reality of facing a monster that had tasted freedom. I stumbled backward, my mind racing. The creature was hunting me and I was its prey. I could hear its movements, a soft padding that grew closer, more deliberate. I sprinted down the corridor, my footsteps echoing against the cold concrete. I could feel its presence behind me, a sinister force that thrived on fear. As I reached the control room, I slammed the door shut and locked it, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I glanced at the monitors, the screens flickering with static. I needed to find a way to contain it again, to trap it before it found me. But the realization hit me. There was no way to contain a creature that had already escaped. The growl grew louder, reverberating through the walls. I could see its shadow moving outside the door, a hulking figure that seemed to shift and change in the darkness. I grabbed the radio, my hands trembling as I tried to call for backup, but the signal was lost in the chaos. Then silence. The growling stopped, replaced by an eerie stillness that filled the room. I held my breath, straining to hear any sign of movement. Just as I thought I might be safe, the door rattled violently, the creature testing its strength against the barrier. With a surge of desperation, I reached for the emergency protocols, my fingers flying over the buttons. I initiated the lockdown sequence, sealing off the facility in hopes of trapping the beast within its own prison. But as the alarms blared once more, I realized the truth. This was no ordinary monster. It was intelligent, cunning, and it would find a way. The door burst open, splintering under the weight of the creature's fury. I turned to face it, my heart pounding in my chest. The flashlight flickered, casting a brief illumination on its grotesque form, a twisted amalgamation of scales and teeth, eyes glinting with a predatory hunger. In that moment, I understood the gravity of my situation. I was not merely a guard. I was the last line of defense against something that should never have been unleashed. As the creature lunged forward, I braced myself for the inevitable, knowing that the shadows of the forgotten would soon claim another soul. And in the depths of that darkened facility, the hunt had only just begun.